Hello, welcome to Faraday Junior YouTube channel. In this episode, we are going to solve a minimization problem using the graphical approach. In our previous video, we solved a maximization problem using the graphical approach, and it's almost the same. Yeah. So, first of all what you have to do is to convert all the inequalities into an equal sign for all the constraints. Yes. So, for the first constraint, we are going to get 2x1 plus 4s2 is equal to 16. So now let x1 equal 0. So we have 2 to bracket 0 plus 4s2 equals 16. So we calculate for x2. So s2 is going to be 16 over 4, which is going to give us 4. Yes. So x1, x2. When s1 is 0, s2 gives us 4. So you do same. Let s2 is equal to 0. So s2 is equal to 0. So we have 2 x1 plus 4 to bracket 0 is equal to 16. So we have x1 is equal to 16 over 2, which is 8. We have x1 to be 8. So that's that for the first constraint. So let's do the same for the second constraint. Okay, so for the second constraint, we have 4x1 plus 3x2, which is equal to 24. So let x1 is equal to 0. So we will have 4 into bracket 0 plus 3x2 is equal to 24. So we have s2 is equal to 24 all on 3. So you have x1, s2. So when s1 is 0. So s2 is equal to 24 over 3, which is 8. So we have 8. So you do same for s2. Let s2 is equal to 0. So we have 4x1 plus 3 into brackets x2. So we have x2 to be 0. So 24. So we have x1 is equal to 24 over 4. So 24 over 4 is 6. So when s2 is 0, we have x1 to be 6. So that. And for the third constraint, we have the equal sign. We have only x1 in it. So we just convert it to equal sign and we draw it. So for the third constraint, we have x1 is equal to 2. And that's it. So let's plot our values and then draw represent the constraints on the graph and then we find our feasible region. So for the first constraint, when x1 is 0, so let the x-axis be our x1 and this one be our x2. So when x1 is 0, so when s1 is 0, s2 is 4. That's the side. And then when s1 is 8, s2 is 0. So that's the side. So you draw a straight line to pass through the 2 points. So 4 and 8. You draw a straight line to pass through these 2 points. Alright, so that's for the first constraint. Then you do same for the second constraint. So when x1 is 0, s2 is 8. So when s1 is 0, s2 is 8. So this is s2. So that's this point. And when s1 is 6, s2 is s2 is 0. So that's this side. So let's do same for it. So 8 and 6. Let draw a straight line to pass through the 2 points. So I think it's okay. Yes, so that's it. And then for the last constraint, we have S1 is equal to 2. So that's going to be a vertical line on S1 is equal to 2. So a straight line here. Yes. So that's it. Now let us know the arrows or where. Okay, so this is our first. The 4 and 8 is our first constraint. So this is 2x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 16. And then this is our third constraint, S1 greater than or equal to 2. And then this is our last, the second constraint, that's 4x1 plus 3x2 24. All right, so let's look at the directions for each line. So this one, because it is a greater than or equal to, is going to point upwards. All values that are above the line. That's what we are talking about. And then the second constraint, that one is less than or equal to. So all points below this line, that's for that particular constraint. And then this one is greater than or equal to all the points above it or to the right side of it. This one I can take that as a simple number. So all numbers greater than 2. All right, so let's look for our feasible region. So let's take this region for instance. You see, it is satisfying this one, it's satisfying this one, but then the 2 is pointing this way. So it's not satisfying the 2. So this region can't be our feasible region. Let's take this for instance. This one is pointing upwards. Otherwise, so this side can also be our feasible region. Same for here, and then same for here. But let's look at this side. You see, 2 is pointing this way, this one, and then this one is pointing downwards, and this one is upwards. You can see that this particular region is satisfying all the three constraints. So this is known as our feasible region. This is our feasible region. So let's look at the boundaries and take the point. So let this one be point A, this be point B, and then here be point C. So let's write down our point nicely. All right, let's write down our points nicely. So we have A, point B, point C. Then we have x1, x2, and then Z. Okay, so for point A, look at point A. What's the x1 and x2 value? So let's trace the x1 value. So looking at it, the x1 value is 2. So we write x1 is 2 for A. And then the s2 value is 3. So we write it down. Let's do same for B, this point B. The x1 value is 2. The x2 value you can see is above the 5, but it's not up to 6. So this one, our graph is not drawn to scale, but when you use a standard graph, you should have something around 5.33. And C, our point C, you can see it's more than 4. It's almost 5, but it's not 5. So that will give us 4.8. And then the S2 value, that one too is around 2, but it's not up to 2. Using a standard graph should give you something around 1.6. Our graph is not drawn to scale. Sorry for that. So right now we are going to calculate for the Z values. we are going to substitute the x1 and x2 value for each point into the objective function so that we get their corresponding z values. So for point A, our z value is going to be 3. The objective function is 3x1 plus 3x2. So our x1 here for A is 2. So 3 times 2 plus 3 times 3. That's going to give us 6 plus 9, which is 15. This is 9. So for A, our z is 15. And then we do same for B. Our z value is 3 multiplying 2 plus 3 multiplying 5.33. So this should give you 22. And then we do same for C. So this is 22. 3 multiplying 4.8 plus 3 multiplying 1.6. This will give you 19.2. So because now we have our values for all the 3 points, because it's a minimization problem and our objective is to minimize the cost, we are going to take the minimum value or the smallest value among this these values, the values of z. So the minimum value is 15. The minimum value is 15. So we can conclude that our optimal point, sorry, we can conclude that therefore our optimal solution is x1 is equal to 2 and x2 is equal to 3 at point A, and the minimum value is 15. Yes, so that's for this video. Thanks for watching. And if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section.